Hi, I'm John Stead, Area Sales Manager for Armfield Limited here in the United Kingdom. Today I'm going to be giving you a very brief overview of one of our flagship products, the FT174 Thermal Treatment Unit. The FT174 is modular in nature. It's all based around having a stainless steel tabletop and frame, which allows you to select a number of different options to suit your R&D purposes. So let's start off by looking at the process in its entirety. At the beginning, we have a 5 litre hopper into which you would pour your formulation, which is then circulated through a progressive cavity pump, which takes the formulation through into the initial heat exchangers, or the primary heat. In this case, we're looking at tubular heat exchangers, which are heated by subatmospheric steam. This is a very gentle heating process. From here, the formulation is transferred into the main heat exchangers, again where they are subject to heat from indirect steam. When the formulation leaves the main heat exchangers, it enters what is called the holding tubes, which are situated here in this oblong stainless steel container. Now, the holding tubes are of various length, and they allow you, depending on different flow rates, to hold at a given temperature your formulation for a given period of time. So it allows you, for R&D purposes, to look at different organoleptic profiles and different microbiology profiles as well for your formulation. When the formulation passes out of the holding tubes, we're now in a position to start cooling down the liquid formulation. And that is done with a second array of heat exchangers. And again, in this case, we're using tubular heat exchangers. The product is cooled down by water. You can add a second array of heat exchangers in, where you can use glycol and a chiller to further reduce the temperature of your product. Once you finish cooling your formulation, you may decide it's necessary to take sterile samples. The FT83 sterile filling unit works in tandem with the 174 to allow you to collect sterile samples for microbiological studies further on. So far, we've looked at indirect heating through the use of tubular heat exchangers. There are other options available to you for indirect heating, namely plate and scraped heat exchangers, and the use of which will depend upon the rheological profile of your formulations. Another module that's very, very useful is when you need to look at direct steam injection. We have direct steam injection here as an option for the 174. The way in which this works, if you remove the protective guard, following the preheat, formulation is passed into the direct steam injection unit. Steam is directly applied to the formulation for very short periods of time. The reason for this is if you're processing something that's very, very sensitive to heat, you only want to apply heat for a very, very short period of time to avoid degradation of the formulation. Your formulation then comes down into this vessel here, which is under vacuum. The vacuum is drawn from a vacuum pump under the surface of the tabletop, and that allows any moisture from the formulation due to DSI to be removed. When choosing the FT174, you also have the opportunity to choose a homogenizer, and within your process you can use this either upstream or downstream. As discussed earlier, the feed hopper used at the very beginning of the process can run between nominal figures of 10 to 50 litres per hour in terms of flow rate. You can also use it up to 120 litres per hour when carrying out cleaning in place. Should you decide that you need industry specified wall velocities of 1.5 metres a second, you can also purchase a clean in place pump, which is located here at the bottom of the 174 frame. That concludes our discussion of the FT174. In summary, it's a modular laboratory-based thermal processing unit aimed at liquid food products such as dairy, plant-based drinks, sauces, condiments, yogurts and creams. Should you have any further questions about its suitability for your application, please contact sales@armfield.com.